Hello, all you wild, weird, wonderful, fantastic people live out there in YouTube land. I hope everybody's well. Well, what a day it is here in County Clare. It's absolutely beautiful. The sun is splitting the trees and it's just gorgeous. Yeah, I'm looking around going, wow, okay, there's a couple of clouds in the sky, but like we can actually see the sun, which is nice. So I'll give it a few minutes for people to come in. I might let my dog out while I'm at it. Hurry, you want to go out, Teddy? Okay, I'll leave the door open. I'll close it. Oh, God, where's he coming? Oh, Lord. It's very warm today. Very warm. Oh, Lord. Definitely a day to keep your fans on and the windows open. I'll just give it a few minutes for people to come in, and I shall drop the link if anybody wants to come up and have a chat. Please do. Yeah, good stuff. Oh, Lord, I'm tired. Oh, excuse me. Lord, I think it's the heat that drains you. Well, for me anyway, I'm sitting here kind of knackered. So, we're just going to give it a few minutes for people to come in. I didn't schedule this live. I should do, but I keep forgetting. So, that's just me. I will get my shit together at some stage. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I won't ever get my shit together. It's probably best off I don't. So, disclaimer, there may be some big girl and big boy words used today that might hurt your fifis. So if your sensibilities are a little bit delicate, I would advise you to move on. This isn't a stream for kids. This is an adult stream. Yeah. So if you're going to be triggered or upset by certain things, this isn't the stream for you. I would advise you to move on. Okay. Having said all of that, it was wonderful to have Roberta up yesterday because I really do love hearing you, all of you people, your opinions. And this, I want this channel to be a voice for everybody that, I suppose on this side of the fence, if you like, or for anybody really, whatever's going on. So yeah, I mean, I would encourage anybody, if you want to come up on panel, if you have something to say, if you want to talk about something, if there's a subject that you want to bring up that you think needs discussion, absolutely, you're more than welcome on panel. I'll have anybody up anytime. I'm even extending that courtesy to you, Martin and Helen and Val. I mean, it's beyond me why you won't take the link, but that's fine. Don't take the link, whatever. As for the snarky post yesterday, hey Lisa, darling, how are you, sweetheart? As for the snarky post that was posted yesterday from Helen, yeah, we can read, love. We can read. He's applied for God, I'm so tired today. He's applied for an appeal, and obviously it's been accepted. So there is no remedies at the moment. And there may never be. Who knows? We just have to let this thing play out. And it's gonna end the way it's gonna end, and not you, me, or anybody else is gonna be able to change that or make a difference to it. So, just leave well enough alone. Is what should have happened from day one. Hey, Lady Stardust, how you doing? Hey, Roberta, how's it going? I was just saying that it was great having you up, Roberta, yesterday, because it's great to have, it's lovely to have everybody in chat, and it's great to see you, but it's great also to hear your voices, um, and get your opinions. Hey, YouTube lady, how you doing? Yeah, it is. It's beautiful here. But I do love to have you guys come up on panels so you can share your views and your ideas, and talk about whatever's important to you, or a subject that's happening, or things that are going on that you feel people should, know about or talk about. So I'm always happy to have people up on panel to talk about whatever it is they feel like they want to talk about. Um, so what was I blathering on about? Oh, yes, 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 the post. You know, me, I really don't know what to say to you, Helen. I mean, you I don't know. I mean, is there any point? I mean, is there even any point in saying anything? Because you just get it wrong all the time. You just always get it wrong. But the one thing that I am still a bit pissed off with is your boyfriend still has that woman's face up on his TikTok. I've been told. That isn't me. I know you'd love to think that it is me. Lady Witch, how you doing, sweetheart? I know you'd love to think that it's me. I know you would, but it isn't. That's just the harsh realities of it. And if anybody approaches that woman thinking that it's me and that they're going to give her a piece of their mind, I feel so sorry for that woman. You need to cop the fuck on and take that picture down, because that isn't me. You know. Um, I think I'm doing okay for 50. Really, I don't. What your opinion is of me is none of my business. To be perfectly honest with you, what you think of me is none of my business, and I don't care, because you don't mean fuck all to me. So I really don't give a shit. You can definitely see the end game. There's a legal victory, and now it's all about how much money can be gotten. Exactly, exactly, Lady Witch. Hey, Frida, how's it going, honey? Yeah, I mean, it's just it's just gotten to the stage now where it's just beyond a joke. I mean, I really wish the whole thing was over and done with, I really do. I'm so sick and tired of this same narrative going around and around in circles. I don't care. I really don't care. I just found it hilarious that, they were, oh, this is going to happen and that's going to happen, and and he didn't, he didn't hold somebody at gunpoint, and it's anyway, it's a civil case. It's a civil, and it's been handled that way. And you know what, he was entitled to appeal, and I really hope that he has representation in court with him this time. Because as we said yesterday, I mean, half of the reasons why he was taking him to court was lies. He slandered me by saying I have a criminal record. How is it slander when it's the truth? Oh, he said that, I did drugs. Yes, you were arrested for drugs. Oh, he said, blah, blah, blah. Yes, you did that too. And the idea that you would try and hide that is just ridiculous. Nothing is hidden anymore nowadays. Anybody can find out pretty much anything about anybody nowadays, um, especially in America. You don't have the laws like we have over here. And I'm very glad in one ways, and in others I'm not. Um, like in America, for instance, you guys have the right to know if a pedophile moves into your village or your town or your whatever, or onto your street even. And we don't have that here, which I would very much like that to change, because I think we all have the right to know who the feckin' hell is living next door to us or underneath us or over us or whatever your situation might be. I would very much like to see that change over here, but I don't think it will, because again, we've far too many do-gooders sitting in Dáil Éireann, scratching their arses, doing absolutely nothing, and getting a massive paycheck at the end of the day for it. The other thing that I would like to see change in Ireland is the terminology around rape victims. They aren't called victims, they are called witnesses. And then get your head around that. Witnesses. And I think it's absolutely disgusting. Um, okay, it's legal jargon and it's this, that, and the other, but it's minimizing, and it's completely changing what is a very violent act on a person, man or woman. It's a violent sexual attack that people just do not get over. And the laws in Ireland are very, very lenient when it comes to sex attacks or child abuse. I mean, it's like we're the safe haven of England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales for paedophiles, and that has got to change. Um, I don't see an awful lot being done about it. There's a lot of things in Ireland that needs work. Ireland is far from perfect. It's not a perfect country. It's far from it. It's got its issues, but I don't think we're half as bad as a lot of other countries. Where we lack in certain areas, we certainly make up for in others. Um, let me just have a quick look and see what you're all saying. Contempt of court. Yeah, I know. Martin thinks we're all jealous of Helen. What the fuck is it? Yeah, okay, so like explain to me what I'm supposed to be jealous about. I really don't understand what I'm supposed to be jealous about. I don't get it, you know. Um we own our own home. When I say we, well, I suppose our daughters own our own home, because we have it all willed over to them. So we don't have a mortgage, we don't have any of that. We just have our living bills. That's it, really. So we're in a nice position. Um, but it doesn't make life any easier. It doesn't mean that we can sit on our arse and just put our feet up and go, oh yeah, well that's it. We'll just sit here and coast off the social welfare. We weren't brought up like that. We were brought up in, working families, Um, if you didn't go to school, you weren't allowed to go on the dole in our house. If you left school early, there was no going home and sitting on your arse and scratching your arse on the dole. You were get out the door and get a job. And I think a lot of that needs to change. There seems to be nothing but young people scratching their arse on the dole, having kids, pumping out kids, and just doing nothing with themselves. And I don't know whether it's a generational thing or whether it's an educational thing or what it is, but it's really quite sad because I've watched some of these kids grow up and they were really smart kids. They had huge characters, and they had a lot about them, and you bump into them now recently, and no, I'm not saying it's wrong. Everybody's path is different, but you see them now and you can see they're sort of bet down by life. They're 2 and 3 kids, and life is difficult. They're not working, the partner's not working, and looking for a council house, and just I the stress of that, being so young. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really believe in the dole, and I'd be probably hung, drawn, and quartered for this now, but I don't really believe in the dole. It doesn't give anybody any incentive to get out to work. What I do think should happen is anybody who is on the dole drawn benefits, they should be made work. It doesn't matter what your ability is or what your comprehension ability is. There is always something that somebody can do. Always. I don't care if you're having 50 panic attacks a day, there's something that you can do. There is always something that people can do. But they choose not to. They choose the easier life to sit at home and fart around and just be lazy, basically, you know? Um, and I think that's pretty pathetic. And it's a pretty sad example to give your children, because they've nothing to aim for in life. They have absolutely nothing to aim for in life. Because if your bar is so low, well, where do you think theirs is going to be? You know? And I really wish more people would think about that when they're raising their kids. Yes, Wicken, I had a chance of a job or education. Otherwise, my ass would have been kicked. Yeah, exactly, Lady Stardust. My house was the same. I mean, Jesus Christ, my grandmother. I mean, there was no messing. You know what Irish grannies were like? I mean, they were as hard as nails, but I mean, they had hearts bigger than the world. They literally would give you their heart, but they take no nonsense off you. I did leave school early. It's just so ironic the way I went back then. Yeah, I suppose me and ADHD and all that other sort of stuff at the time, it was just difficult, you know. Um, but I did end up going back and whatever. So, yeah, it was funny when I did bump into a secondary teacher, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing this and I'm doing that," and they just looked at me, and went, "Oh my God, we couldn't get you to do that in school." And I was like, "I know." Hey, Emory, darling, how are you? How are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, Irish moms are the best. I mean, they are strict. I'm not gonna make any bones about it. And I suppose I was the same with mine to an extent. Um, Whereas we had corporal punishment when we were kids, mine didn't have that. You know, when they may have got a little pat on the bum on their nappy or whatever, like, you know, but that would have been the extent of it, you know. But today, this whole social welfare thing, I don't feel is working for any country. I think if there are things to do in the community, that the people that are drawn social welfare should be made do it. They should be made do all the gardening, or they should be made go into people's, old people's houses, do repairs on things, or if there's old castles or old whatever around your area, beauty spots in your area, they should be made go and take care of that. And they should be made do it every day. And I think if they got into a routine of doing that, then they might think, well, you know what, a job in such and such a place mightn't be so bad as, being out in the cold, cutting trees or chopping this off or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't think handing people money for nothing every week is the way to handle it. And I do understand some people have kids and they can't get out, but in Ireland now, there is no excuse because they take, I mean, to be honest, single mums in Ireland, I'm not going to say they have it easy, but they have it a hell of a lot easier than a lot of people I knew when my kids were small. I mean, you can drop your children off at creche now for free. You can drop them off at 9 o'clock in the morning, and you don't have to pick them up till 6 o'clock in the evening. And you send in their lunch. Now I'm talking like from babies a couple of weeks old up till, well, 4 or 5. You just pop them into a creche and then take them back out. So the mother and fathers are only having them for a couple of hours a day, which I think is really, really sad. I mean, they're being raised by the creche rather than their parents. And maybe they just don't have the tools to do it. But you know what? If you're going to have children, if you've had a child, you have to raise it, Um, a lot of people just don't think about that, they just don't think of the life that you're going to give that child, So, yeah, keep your kids in school for as long as you possibly can. Threaten them, bribe them, whatever you have to do to make them stay there and get that education, because it's going to stand to them at the end of the day. They might hate you for it at the time, and they will hate you for it, and they'll fight you every inch of it. But your job is to parent them, not to be their best friend. And that's one thing that I've tried to always say to my kids. Look, I'm not your best pal. I'm your mother, and I'm doing the best that I can, trying to keep you on the right road, because they all just lose the cool with school after a while, and as I say, it is hard to keep the momentum going. Over here we have, well, in secondary schools anyway, we have two sets of exams. We have the junior certificate, and then we have the leaving cert. And the leaving cert would be like, I suppose, GCSEs in the UK, maybe, or it's what determines what college you get into, basically, what points you get. Um, yeah, so if you want to go on and do third level education, your leaving cert is imperative. If you don't have it, you can't do it. And if you do want to go back, you'll have to go back as a mature student, which means you have to wait until you're over 25 if you want to go back to school, and then you have to do. So I mean, it just makes the whole thing far more difficult than it needs to be. So if there's any young lads out there listening, please stay in school. Do yourself a favor and stay in school, because you'll be looking back years later and going, I was such a fucking idiot. Why did I leave? It was so cushy. The only thing you have to do is listen. Do well in school. That's all you have to do, is listen and do well in school. That's your only job as a kid. Go to school, do the best you can. And, I'm not saying that every child has to be a genius. Absolutely not. A square peg won't fit into a round hole. You know what I mean? Every child's abilities and capabilities are completely different. But I just walking around, especially now with the weather as it is, and you see a lot. I mean, I do see a lot of people, and it's always the same ones. Small kids, and in the town, whatever, and they're drinking every day of the week, and I'm thinking to myself, how is this possible? How are you in the pub every day of the week with your kids, which is more sad? It's very sad, but they're there every day. How are they feeding their kids? How are they paying their bills? I've never ever understood that. I've never understood that. Sitting there spending like all your money on beer. I could never wrap my head around that. So I'll go back to comments now. The majority of them have their kids doing the same as them, waiting for the next paycheck from taxpayers and people who go food banks. Yeah, I know. It's very sad. I mean, because you're not setting any goals for yourself or for your kids. And when you have no goal, you've no direction in life and you're just aimless. So that's something that I always try to talk to my children about. Is like, if you don't have a goal for yourself or you don't set goals for yourself, you don't aim for something, whatever it is, astronaut, doctor, teacher, fucking gym instructor, whatever, you're never going to do anything with your life. And it's so precious and it goes by so fast, and you need to set some sort of goals for yourself. Let me see what chat's saying. Very true. Yeah, it is very true, YouTube lady. Yeah, it is. And it seems to be a generational thing, because you can nearly pick them out walking down the street, which is, I don't like to say it because there's a lot of them that are lovely, but I don't know. You only behave by the way you're brought up. Monkey see, monkey do. Yeah, it's very true. My daughter has never claimed a penny in her life. She'd rather scrub floors. Yeah, Lisa, I know. Mine too. They've never claimed anything. They never had to. Frida had to blow up with a stepson over that. If you don't go to college, you'll get a job and pay your own way. He was mad, but later said he was grateful that I kicked him in the butt. You see, Lady Witch, you did the right thing. You did the exact right thing. I mean, and that's what these kids need, because look, we all remember being that age. We're not that old that we can't remember being young and being in school and all that kind of thing. We all fucking hated it. Everybody hated school. That's just a fact of life. Nobody likes school. But it's a stepping stone from one place to the next. If you want to go and be, I don't know, an editor, or somebody who works in radio or TV or whatever, you're not going to just walk in there and get a job and they're going to go, oh yeah, you're brilliant, yeah, let's hire you. Let's hire the person that never went to study anything, and yeah, you'll be brilliant at it. No, that's absolutely not how it works. So please keep your kids in school. And if you're a young mum and you're listening to this, please keep your kids in school for as long as you possibly can, because it will stand to them. And they need a good kick up the arse every now and again. I mean, teenagers are a nightmare to deal with. I mean, I would have rathered boys, because I mean, it's a true saying in Ireland, boys will wreck your house, but girls will wreck your head. I mean, Jesus Christ. Just the stuff that, the fake tan on the sheets and the perfumes and the this and the that, and I need a new dress because that was on Facebook last week and I can't wear. Oh, Jesus Christ. But you know what? If they wanted a new dress, they earned the money for it. So I mean, there was no, oh yeah, here you go, there's more money for you, there's more money for you. No. They wanted new clothes, new dresses, which they did. They were very good about it. They'd get pocket money every week and they'd save it up, and then they'd buy whatever they wanted to buy. School prepares you for getting up early. Yeah, it does. It does. It absolutely does. And it's a good routine to get into, especially when you're a youngster, you know. But as I say, it's important to instill in your kids from a young age. I used to be always talking about traveling to mine, oh God, and then you want to see here and there. And I was just filling their heads with all these beautiful countries and things that you can see. And, I always spoke to them about that, or told them stories about faraway countries. And it just really made them want to do well and want to travel and want to see all these places, which they do. That's Jesus. I mean, sometimes I think maybe I went over too much because they're very rarely in Ireland, I mean, they're here, they work obviously, but as soon as they have a couple of days or a week or whatever, they're gone. I didn't realize one of my ladies decided to go to Paris for the weekend. She gave me a range. I was bored, and so was going to Paris, and I thought, oh, feck it, I'll hop on a plane. I'll go over with you. I was like, oh, okay, grand. But and it's great that they can do that. It's fantastic they can do that. Um, but yeah, it's a funny old world. It's a funny old world. And again, I don't want to kind of keep harping on about the migrants and things like that, but you know, I don't know where this is going to end in Ireland. I don't know how you make an arrogant regime sit up and pay attention to what it is that your country is demanding. Um, I don't know how we change that. I don't know how we go forward with that. And I know Ireland isn't the only country with that question. Um, how do you make your government sit up and pay attention to the people of its country when they're blatantly ignoring everything? How do you make an impact on them? Brian, how are you doing? How's it going, Big Ed? How are you? Good, I don't think I missed anybody. Yeah, so I mean, how do you make your government sit up and pay attention? The last time Ireland had to do that, it was take to arms, but like, thank God we're well past all of that now. I'd like to think we are, but there has been a lot of talks of fathers and stuff getting together and patrolling the streets at night to make sure people are staying safe, especially women and children, especially in the winter time, because it gets dark around 3:45, 4 o'clock here in Ireland. And it's pretty much dark for a couple of months, a bit like the UK as well, so we have a lot of darkness in the winter. But it, it, I think it's just unnerving, because the way they stare at you when there's a group of men outside a shop and they're all just hanging around and they're staring at you and they're speaking. You don't know what they're saying about you. You know they're talking about you, but you just don't know what they're saying. And it can be very, very unnerving. And like, these people that are coming in and they're not allowed work, but they do. They're not allowed to do X, Y, and Z, but they do. Well, find other things for them to do. Find jobs for them. And if they don't want to work, well, then they should be just gone. They should be doing work that, I don't know, other people don't want to do. Maybe fixing the sewers or drains, or I don't know. I'm sure where there's a will, there's a way. We could sit down and work it out. Fixing the roads, for example. I don't know. You know what I mean? There's tons of things people could do, or the country could do for people that are on the dole, to set them up for success, to go back into the workforce, and to have a little bit of pride in themselves. Because if you have been somebody who worked all their life, and you find yourself on the dole for whatever reason, maybe you got made redundant, or the place closed up, or whatever, or illness, whatever. It's soul destroying for a lot of people. Then they get depressed. And yeah, so it's hard. There's a lot of men's shed clubs that have popped up around here, which is good. But not every man is going to want to go there. And yeah, I don't know. I think that there's a lot more that we could do. but the government won't fund it because they're far too busy looking after these migrants that are coming in, with no papers, no identification, no nothing, and that has got to stop. Yeah, we have enough here. Like, oh, we could. There's so much land here as well that we could have the migrants in. Well, there's a patch of land, go and farm that, and we'll sell the thing at the market, and there's so much we could do. But the government won't implement any of it. And I did see a video yesterday of this African chap that has a house in Spain. His wife is in Spain. Came to Ireland, in Dublin Airport, demanding his right to be housed immediately, and he wanted to be housed in County Limerick. So he was demanding, from Dublin County Council, a house in Limerick. But he's already got his papers for Spain, so now he thinks, well, we'll keep the house in Spain, and then we'll go to Ireland and we'll get a house in Ireland. And I'm like, fucking hell, the way our system has been abused over here is just beyond a joke. And people, like, as I say, the do-gooders, they're like, oh, bless him. I'm like, what do you mean, bless him? He's got a fucking house in Spain. His wife is in Spain, And then there was this other video I watched that I thought it was funny. I mean, this girl knew exactly what she was doing. She was interviewing this guy, and I can't remember what country he said he was from. Was it maybe Iran or Pakistan or something like that? I can't remember. And she said, "Why are you here?" And he said, "Oh, because I'm gay." And she was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, persecution. Oh, I'd be killed, and la 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 la, all of this kind of thing." And she was right, okay. And she said, "Do you have any family back at home?" He said, "Oh, yes, a wife and 4 children." And she was like, "Oh, right, but how? What?" And he hung himself. It was just beyond a joke, you know. It was funny. It really was funny. It was funny in a tragic kind of sense of the way. Um, that the way our countries are being used and abused for these people. Let me go back and see what's being said. My mum left school at 15 and she had to work, which always saddened me. She sacrificed and never appreciated it, and I never appreciated it till it became a mother. She cleaned houses in the end. She made small. Ah, bless her. I know, love. I know. I know. We don't. But children, and especially teenagers, they're very narcissistic. Everything's about them. But thankfully, you grow and you learn, and you change as an adult. You grow. Like, you don't appreciate it when you're young. It's not until you become a mum yourself you understand. Exactly it, Lady Stardust. Exactly it. YouTube lady says on YouTube, a Uber delivery knocked on the door he asked for, number 40 to 44. Woman pointed over there, went to shut the door. He attacked her. Wow. She wrestled with him. He got off. Imagine if it had been, oh my God. YouTube lady, that's terrifying. After my stroke, once my brain sorted itself out, I found ways to work from home. I couldn't do my old job, but I learned new skills. You can make it happen if you want to. You absolutely can. You absolutely can. 100%. I've had a stroke as well. I had mine during labor on my last daughter. Um, yeah, you absolutely can. Obviously, when you've gone through rehab and you've got everything back, and or things are as good as they're going to get, there are things you can do. Of course, there are. But people just, there. A lot of people just think the world owes them a living, or the world owes them. The world owes you nothing. MRH, how you doing, darling? The world owes you nothing. Get up off your arse, get out there, sound like Kim Kardashian now, and go to work. Get up off the parliamentary side of your arse and go to work. That's what my granddad used to say. The parliamentary side of your arse. Oh, Lord, he used to come out with some funny ones. But yeah, I'll drop the link if anybody wants to come up and have a waffle. I'm not going to be on too long today because the weather's beautiful and I have so much work to do in the garden. It's not even funny. And my hay fever is acting up and I'm probably getting a migraine, so it's fun. Oh, Lordy. Yeah, so that's that. Yeah, I just thought yesterday that snidey post. I mean, you don't know shit about shit. Let's just say that you don't know shit about shit. And that's all I'm going to say. I mean, it was a pathetic attempt. Pathetic. We can all read. We can all see what it says quite clearly. Maybe your comprehension is, I don't know, something wrong with it. I don't know. 28 degrees. I'm sunbathing, listening to this. Great. Oh, Darren, how's it going? Good stuff. Yeah, 28 today. Yeah, it is warm. Wicken and Victoria times. If you didn't work, you didn't eat. Oh yeah, yeah. So and it didn't. You didn't even have to go that far back. Um, Let me see. My neighbour now, Gus. How old would he have been? Ah, he would have been maybe 90 now. But going back to him when he was a young man in Dublin, when he was working on the roads back then, he was a builder, whatever. Um, there was all the tenement buildings in Dublin at the time, and there was a hell of a lot of poor people. Like there'll be families per room. In these houses, these tall, big, tall Victorian houses, and no bathroom, so you can imagine the smells and what have you. But yeah, if like it wasn't like the countryside in Ireland. If you had the countryside, you could at least grow a bit of vegetables, or you could, maybe raise a few hens, or maybe have a pig, and one pig would do a family for a year. They'd hang it, they'd slaughter it, hang it, they'd use every part of it, and the dogs or whatever got the scraps. Like, but there was very nearly no scraps back then. But you would survive in the countryside quicker than you would in the city, because if you didn't have money in the city, you'd nowhere to grow anything, and you did starve. You did starve, and it's happened so many times. I hate that period in Dublin because it breaks my heart. Strumpet City is a fantastic series to watch. If nobody's ever heard of it or ever watched it, I highly recommend Strumpet City. It's about a certain time period in Dublin City, and it's funny, it's sad, and it's raw, and it's true, and it was a brilliant thing to watch. But very sad too at the same time. I read the books, and then I watched the thing. I mean, CP Wicken, what did you say? There's a better one. Lady Stardust. Okay, let me go back up. There's a better one on today. I mean, a CP. Oh, right, is there? Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that's fine. I really don't care. Actually, no. Do tell me what does it say? Now I want to know. Is that a film or a TV show? It was actually a little series. Strumpet City. Oh, you'd love it, Lisa. It's really really good. Yeah, it's I don't want to don't want to talk about it because I don't want to ruin any little parts of it. But you'll see what the tenements were like back then, and how people lived. And you literally could not feed your children, and you couldn't feed anybody in Dublin. But as I said, you had some stab of surviving in the countryside, because most people had a little bit of land, or they'd had a little bit of a garden that you could grow stuff. Um at least there be the few spuds or whatever. Like, but maybe you get a couple of eggs off a neighbor. You do a day's work, and they might give you a bit of ham or something you could bring home, or bacon to the family. And so there was always a way in the countryside of trying to survive. But in Dublin, no, absolutely nothing. um the world's a stage. Oh, really? And so is YouTube. Right, okay. Well, it might be to some people. It might be to some people, and that's fine. If that's the way they choose to see things, that's grand. Roberta, she could, but she's just lazy. Depends on the taxpayer's payment into her bank. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't understand why she can't go and work, in a factory, like, or sit at Aldi or Tesco's. They all sit down, and there's no standing involved there. It's just beep, 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 beep. She may as well be at her kitchen table making whatever it is that she makes. Do you know what I mean? So what's the difference between sitting in your arse there and sitting in your arse there? Anyway, swings and roundabouts. Angela's Ashes made me cry. I never I know, I know, I know. That was a very hard read, actually. Yeah, that was a hard read. I tend to stay away from those kind of books now because I find them very, very, very tough. I'm getting softer the older I'm getting. He sold me for a pack of cigarettes. I don't know if anybody's ever heard that book, but oh my God, it is as heartbreaking as you think it is. The title should be enough. I think it's actually a trilogy, I think. Yeah, and then another he sold me for, so she's talking about her dad. Yeah, really sad. Harlots was good. I'm reading the book now. Oh, okay. I haven't heard of that one. Harlots. Haven't heard of that one. Heck, if you need food, learn to forage. You'd be surprised. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I myself and my dad love doing that. To be honest, we like going up the fields and up the lanes and whatever. Like, yeah, we make might make a big, thick, heavy green salad, and we mostly eat vegetarian, I suppose. Maybe a bit of fish. I don't really like meat, so I don't eat a huge amount of meat. My husband is different. He's carnivore all the way. You know, a slab of cow on a plate, and he's a happy camper, whereas I'm like, ugh, beef, yuck. I can't eat beef. And as dad, after I suppose the chemo and all of that, he needed the protein and stuff, so he was vegetarian slash vegan for years. And so he was like, oh, duck and lamb, and I'm like, no, I can't. I just, oh no, they're so gamey to me. I just find them really, really gamey and fatty, and I just, no, I can't. Even my friends make me laugh if I'm eating a slice of bacon, or as we call them in Ireland, rashers. I'm like a surgeon with a scalpel. The way the way I go around it and pull off every last little bit of fat because I can't stomach it. And then I'll eat it, like, but my friends would just sit there watching me going, you're not fucking serious. I'm like, yeah, I'm not eating that. I don't like it. It's the wobbly bits, and bacon that maybe hasn't been crisped up enough on the edges, and it's still a little bit white and wobbly. Ugh. No, thank you. Allowed the outcast to try to gloss right over AD speaking in a bit. I guess they don't mention or even acknowledge at all because it's a non-entity to them. Yeah, like what JC, what is she trying to say? Can anybody come up and tell me what it is that she's trying to say? I'll drop the link again. Um because it's quite condescending, and it's like, what are you trying to say, woman? I don't understand. So how have we got that wrong? That's written in plain English. Is it me? Have I picked it up wrong? Am I reading it wrong? Oh yeah, I know. Just like they do everything else, they don't like it, or when, yeah, I know, love. But yeah, if somebody who knows what was said or written or whatever and knows what the deal is, come up and tell me about it, because as far as I can see, I read it and it's pretty fucking clear that he's applied, and I think it was approved for appeal. So I don't understand how we've read that wrong. So correct me if I am wrong, but I don't think I am. I mean, I've read it, so let me go back up. Uh, the book is So let me think. The book's completely different. So, oh, okay, yeah, I have to take a screenshot of that and then get that book maybe later. Okay, Sheila, lady started just got home and had a shower to cool down. I'm sitting in front of the fan. Get your spray bottles of water out, Sheila. Get them out, girl. I have mine beside me. Oh God, the horses are going by again. Um, Definitely, and seeds and berries. Yeah, 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 yeah. There's a whole heap of stuff that grows. Yeah. I mean, there's so much stuff that grows. I mean, what did I have? I was at a friend's house, and it was like this big stately manor, and they were having wood pigeon and all sorts of things, and I was sort of, oh fucking hell, I'm not gonna eat. I'm not gonna. I was sweating already. I was thinking I'm not going to be able to eat this. I'm not going to be. I was kind of starting to freak out in my head, because the last thing I want to do is be rude, or feel like I'm being rude to anybody who's invited me to their home for dinner. Um, and lamb, no, even the smell of lamb cooking, and I will actually gag. I can't stomach the smell of lamb. But actually, wood pigeon was quite nice. It was sort of sweet with sort of a nutty sort of flavor from it. I didn't have a huge amount of it. Obviously, they're quite small, but it was actually very, very nice. Would I eat it again? No, I probably wouldn't. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. No, wood pigeon, Frida, it's not like the pigeons that just fly around in the city. They're a different type of pigeon. Wood pigeon, yeah. Um, yeah, I think that's what they do eat. I think they eat nuts and seeds and things like that. So their meat is, um, yeah, it's not bad. I have had pheasant as well, but again, I don't like that. I don't like the gamey stuff. Oh yeah, my dad. Oh, he made me sit at the table. You're not getting away from that table until that's gone. I was like, no. I got sick for a finish, and he was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Hey, baby love, how's it going? Is it like quail? Well, the thing is, with all game, it depends on how long it's hung for. So, to me, the longer it's hung, probably the better it is to eat, but it becomes more gamier. It becomes really gamey. Um, and the one that I had, the wood pigeon that I had, was actually really nice, but it had only been killed. I don't know how long. It was recently, like it wasn't hanging for weeks or months on end. And it was nice, and it was a little bit tough, because I think that's why they hang them, is to make the meat soft or whatever. Anyway, I'm not a gamey girl. Again, I'm not a big meat eater. Um, Mary had a little lamb with a side of mint jelly. Yeah, she definitely did. Wicken, I remember a friend of mine invited me around for lunch, turkey neck in the soup. No. Oh no. Oh Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. See, I'd have been with you. I'd have been oh God, I'm sorry. Did you hear that? That's my phone. Oh my God, something terrible. So I have to go. Oh Jesus. I did try moose steak and ate Bambi once. Yeah, I don't like deer. I don't like, again, back to that gamey kind, and I know it's one of the leanest, best meats that you can eat. Have tried horse as well. I tried horse in France. They do horse burgers and things like that over there. And again, not for me. Absolutely not for me. A friend of mine got a burger and I had a nibble of it, and I was like, nope, 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 not for me. But to them it's like, well, it's like cows, and I'm like, nope. No, thank you. But if meat is your thing, you'd probably really enjoy it. I think half of the UK and Ireland were eating horse meat for years in burgers. Do you remember that scandal that came out there years ago? And yeah, it was horse meat that was mixed in with, even if I'm not even sure if there was fucking beef in it at all, but it was yeah, horse meat. That was terrible. I didn't care for horse. It was too cheap. Yeah, it was weird. It's isn't it? It's like a weird texture, but seemingly there's a way of cutting it with the grain and all this kind of stuff. It's just like when they start going on and getting technical about how you slice meat, I'm like, oh fuck that. I don't care. I just want to eat, like, and I'm not eating that stuff. I barely eat anything anyway, usually fruit. Well, that has got to change. Your pancreas is not going to like you for that, baby love. Seriously, that's your man. What was his name? Jobs. He done the iPhone thing. He died from like pancreatic cancer and stuff because he was only eating fruit. Your pancreas won't like you for that. You've got to try and balance that out, sweetheart. We love you to pieces. I don't want you getting sick on me. None of us are liars or pretend to be, but AD seek an appeal, like it or don't, tough shit. Yeah, and again, he's well entitled to do that. I mean, I'm sure it's his right to do that. And as I was saying yesterday, I do hope that he has representation with him this time, because he does need it. I mean, going into any court of law without a brief with you, I think, is a bad move, no matter what it's for. I always think, error on the side of caution, have your brief with you, and let them deal with it, as because there are ways and means of there are protocols for filing everything with the law, which I'm finding out because my daughter is studying, and she's like, "No, you can't do that. You have to go this way. No, you have to go through this portal, and there's a legal here, and you go that way." And so, yeah, it is a different world, really. It is a very different world, but yeah, I hope he has representation with him anyway, so he can be represented properly, and make, I don't know if you can even make comparisons now about what's going on YouTube now. I don't know. I've no idea. I haven't been following the case because I'm really just not that interested. But I just thought that was funny that he got his appeal. Yes, Helen, it's very wrong to lie and defame. Maybe you and your goblin boyfriend should practice what you preach, you hypocritical cow. Yeah, I have to say, I agree with that. I do agree with that. You know, you've no problem calling, Cassius a donkey when you're out pontificating about your fucking Sundays for the shits. I'm gonna say, not Sunday for the soul, Sunday for the shits. um so you're an agitator is what you are. You like to agitate people, and you like to bait people, and I think you like to rage bait people. And you can't handle it when I come back at you with truth. you know i i I have no time for bullshit and lies, right? I have a life, I have a job, which is my own work, thankfully, and I've fucking so much stuff to do. I don't have time to be sitting down dreaming up what the fuck it is I'm going to say on YouTube the next day. Basically, I wing it. Literally, I wing it. I come on and I blather away. And if anybody wants to get up and join in, fantastic. If they don't, that's absolutely fine too. But I'm not going to sit there and script write out something, because to me it doesn't feel organic, I suppose. And for me, it wouldn't be real. It would be an act of some sort, and I'm really not into doing that. I If I'm going to react to something that somebody says, I'm going to react to it. Online and live. I'm not going to be contrived about anything, but I am going to speak my mind, and I will correct lies. Um, Oh, thank you, baby love. I'm not sure, baby love. Share your link on your channel. Listen, guys, if anybody in here goes live or plays videos or whatever, put your channel link in, and everybody tap and subscribe to everybody if you can, or if you want to. Baby love is great. I love her content. Um, yeah, so yeah, this joke, I mean, is what it's now. It's a complete farce, this entire shit show that this family have distanced themselves from you people. I mean, they can't get away from you people quick enough now. Don't text them, don't fucking, don't tag me, don't text me, don't. What is that saying to you? It's saying that you've fucked it up. You've messed up. You've messed up by being the people that you are and dragging their name all over YouTube, all in the name of what? All in the name of what? Your ego? That's pathetic. It is pathetic. Or, the 5, 6 people that are constantly clapping you on the back. Is that what it is? I really don't know. Genetic. They would rather make up insanity and talk bullshit that AD is going to be fined, assets seized, and go to prison than acknowledge he's appealing. Yeah, I know. It's absolutely ridiculous. My buddy Paul told me yesterday he roasted squirrel on a barbecue when he was a kid. I was like, oh yeah. Steve Jobs, that's the one. That was the very one. Yeah, he got this into his head. Fruits and juices and things were the healthiest way to go, and it's what killed him. Yeah, his pancreas, and then he got pancreatic cancer. The kidneys weren't working. Actually, Ashton Kutcher, who played him in that movie, he went on the same diet as Steve Jobs, and he ended up in hospital. His pancreas was just fucking wigging out. It couldn't operate properly. So how that man stuck to it and continued to do it to himself is just kind of sad. Um, Lady Stardust, what did Lady Stardust say? JC, AD doesn't have any assets. No, we all know he hasn't a fucking pot to piss in, bless him, At the end of the day, he's an old man. He doesn't own his home. He doesn't own a car. He doesn't own very much of anything, I wouldn't imagine. you know um and you're going to take his pension off, and well, I don't know if they'd even do that, to be honest, because I mean, what a pension is in the UK and Ireland is the bare minimum of what people can live on, and even at that, people are finding it difficult nowadays to try and live on the bare minimum. um JC start Lady Starters exactly explain on one side of their mouths, AD's gambling everything away, yeah, also has great assets to be seized. It can't be both. Yeah, you preach it, girl. You're preaching to the choir. He can't be this alcoholic gambler and have all these assets at the same time. It's an oxy fucking moron. Like, but then again, you are morons. So, like, I mean, what? I asked what it tastes like. You responded, barbecue. The squirrel tastes like barbecue. No gold star. Oh wow. Helen Chuffs. Sunday for the soulless. Yeah, wearing her halo held up with the devil's horn. Fake prayers from a fake phony. Oh, I know. Deborah, how you doing, sweetheart? How are you? I know. I mean, but the thing that just made me sick was, I mean, a lot of the stuff that comes out of that side makes me sick. But she's pontificating about, oh, this, that, and the other, and yeah, calling Cass a donkey. Like, really, really, you're going to go on about religion and this and that and the other, and in the same breath call somebody a donkey. Okay. Yeah, because like that's what people do, isn't it? That's what Christians do. That's what I don't know what you call them in England, vicar, isn't it? Or your priest or whoever it is that you go to would tell you to do. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't be told that. You'd be told turn the other cheek and give them kindness. But if you can't start with honesty first, well then there's fucking no hope for the rest of it, really, is there? It's just a little bit ironic. We poor, I know, poor wee squirrel. I know, poor wee squirrel. Now, fucking the barbecue. JC, she looked right. Have a position to better cover the bald spot. I was rather shocked. If he was joking, he wasn't. Oh god. Or intended for. Well, if anybody knows the answer to that, there is a prize. Gold star. A gold star. Oh, for fuck's sake. Don't knock it, JC. That's how I held up my halo too. Oh, hey, wait a minute. You have a halo? Oh, fuck that. I want one too. I don't have a halo. Or maybe I did. No, I don't. I just have a guardian angel behind me, just looking very, very, very upset and impatient. Shaking its head, going, "What the fuck is she doing now?" Genetic code. Don't know if you noticed when I put your post up. Where did it go? I put it, Tuesday for the soul. Oh God, my apologies. Your bald spot and our indented forehead. Lady Stardust, she has made pattern baldness all her. Yeah, you can see her scalp where she said, "My son wouldn't like these people." How do you know, Chuff? Be that would. Wait, hang on a second. Let me read that again. Where she said, "My son wouldn't have liked these people." How do you know, Chuff? Be that you would drum it into his head as hate. Yeah, hate. Soulless where they're concerned. I know, but I'll get banned. Yeah, but the thing is, I'm not even angry with these people anymore. I mean, you can't sink any lower than what they've done to Salty. You can't sink any lower than what they've done to Salty. Oh, and by the way, I do want to post a clip that I found that somebody is making a big deal about Cassius threatening her child. Okay, her child. This child is a grown ass man in his 20s or 30s, late 20s, early 30s. Grown ass man. And he threatened to come and bite my wee child's nose off. The community. The community. Fuck off. You want to be. You want to be in the thick of everything. That's all you are, is a fucking want to be. You're a nobody. You're immaterial. You like, what are you? You're an inanimate object to me, as far as I'm concerned. You're just puff, going. Maybe a red arrow to cover up the said pattern. Yeah, so I have that clip. I found the clip that you were talking about. Oh, my son is coming to Brian. No, not my son. Really? Well, I'm going to play it, and I'm going to play it properly. Not the way you people chop and change and chop and change and edit together shit and all that kind of stuff. No, I'm gonna play it properly. I'm gonna give the context, and so people can hear what exactly it was that he said. You know, because you're just making yourself look like an absolute fucking tit. You all are. I mean, oh, you just make us so right all the time, all the time. It's embarrassing. How are you not embarrassed for yourselves? How are you not fucking mortified? I would die. I would die if I had anything to do with all of you people. Ah, Deborah, that's such a lovely thing to say. Thank you so much, darling. Well, I hope we can bring a little bit of joy, a little bit of giggles, a little bit of whatever to your day. Because really, at the end of the day, we don't really want to be talking about these people. There's loads of shit that there's going on in the world that I much prefer to be talking about. So JC Martin, dickhead goblin using no context, random screenshots. MD himself said, yeah, exactly. Screenshots aren't proof. To suggest Cassius talk shit about that daft, dank, dark wannabe. Tag along, get fucked with your shit stirring. Yep, absolutely, absolutely, I agree. Lady, no, YouTube lady, the get along, and they're all tied in a string to one another in case one of them gets lost. Deborah, we're family here, or sometimes people support each other. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, even the crazy cousins. Yeah. has to be said, we are a good bunch, and it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. If you're just here to just have a chat with people and a normal conversation, and join in conversations, you're more than welcome. Absolutely, you're more than welcome. Just asking, has anybody ever heard Chuck say on a Sunday, "I've just come back from church, friggin' place will fall down around"? No, actually, no. I've never ever heard her say. I've never watched her. I can't. So I'm the wrong person to ask, but not to my knowledge. I don't know. She could have. I don't know. I honestly don't know. That's my answer to you there. I really don't know. She's all fucking talk, no action. Yeah, well, you see, the beautiful thing about what I practice, I'm a soul practitioner. The coven thing never drew me to it. I prefer. It's called a hedge witch, and it's very spiritual, and it's a soul practitioner. I really was never interested in getting involved with the coven and all that kind of thing, because what I believe, to me, is quite, it's sacred, and it's private, and it's special, and it's mine. And yeah, and that's what I do. I work with herbs, I work with all sorts of different things, and yeah, and I help people with it. I pray for people. I plant flowers and herbs and plant all sorts of things. If somebody's sick, I will plant a new plant, and I'll pray for that person. And when I ask for health for somebody, I give something back to the earth, because I'm asking something of it. So it's a give and take. That's the way I kind of do things. It's a give and take. Um, I know everybody does their own little thing, or whichever way, but that's what I do. If I'm asking for my dad's health, or my children's health, or if they're sick, or somebody's really sick, I'll go down, I'll buy a plant, I'll bring it back, and I'll plant it, and I'll say my prayer, and I'll, you know, put my intention in, and that's how I kind of do things. And everyone to their own. You know, who knows who's right and who's wrong? We're not going to know until we cross over. We're never going to know until we cross over who's right and wrong. But I would rather be. I'm very happy being me, and in the headspace that I am, and with the friends and the people that I have around me. I'm very happy with where I am in the world. And the people that I choose to walk the long road with. I'm really, really happy with my friends, because they are all fantastic, amazing people. And each and every one of you guys on here are fantastic people. And I think we've all just become very, very close in the past couple of years, and it's really lovely. It's lovely to see, because we do all genuinely care about each other. Deborah, yeah, oh, I read that one, yes. Just asking that, yeah, I read that one. Roberta, technically she went, but the doors wouldn't open for her. The holy water fountains started hissing and spitting. Oh, just look at all the clouds of chaos they have churned out. Yeah, I know. She's had the pastor around to hers. Oh, Jesus, I don't even know if I want to know about that. The church is not too keen on sinners. No, no. And there's not many religions that do want the sinners. Oh, you're clairaudient. Oh, very nice, very nice. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Oh, good. And do you do that just as something that you do, or do you do it professionally? Or sorry, my throat's getting dry. Hell, I'm listening, but Cass is behind me, so I'm behind. Damn it. The fucking dark. Sorry, dank twat wannabe tag along is wrecked trash bag. Yeah, I know. I mean, that's why I don't even mention her, because she's not worth it. She really isn't worth a mention. There is a full moon tonight. Yes, anybody who's interested in making their moon water or cleansing their crystals, just get them all out tonight and leave them in a spot in the window that is going to get the most moonlight. It has the best benefits for your moon water and your crystals. Deborah, lovely. It is lovely to have that gift, but we all have it. It's just tapping in and tuning into it. Um, it's very special. Yeah, it is. Where was I going with that? No. Me too, Wick. And there's a higher spiritual power. I'd rather use plants than farming. Yeah, I mean, I do as much as I can. I mean, I grow, I grow a lot of everything. Some years are good, some years aren't so good. But I grow a lot of different herbs because I make tinctures, and for people who maybe have been alcoholics and can't use the tinctures, I make an oxymel. So you would use glycerin instead of alcohol to, you know, get what you need from the plants. Someone like a vicar YouTube lady, I know I was taking the piss. Right, okay. I love mediumship. Yeah, yeah. It's quite disconcerting sometimes. Um, especially when things whiz past you out the corner of your eye. And anyway, I'm happy to read for anyone. I never charge. Well, you know what? Don't say that too loud because you'll have everybody tormenting you. You'd be sorry you said that. Do a 3 card pull. Do a 3 card pull. Past, present, and future. That because you will get inundated. Most. What was that one? Most. Christ. Oh, most probably on. Oh, Jesus. I just read for people now and again, not often. Yeah, I know it's an interest of yours, and it's a pastime as well. It is a lovely way to pass your time. Yeah. Well, do you know what I started doing? I stopped with the pulling them out and making the cross and putting it around, and I can't even think of the name now. Sorry, I'm getting a migraine and my words are going. Um, you lift it up, pop it on your hand 3 times, switch it around, and then start taking it out. I started using the entire deck. So first card, second card, and I'd go through the entire deck. And when you do that, it actually fills out a lot more of the story than you would have gotten with your ordinary card pull, which everybody pulls cards differently. Some pull 13, some pull 12, some pull 3, some pull 6. It depends. Now that I do believe, who is this YouTube lady? Okay, that's very nice of you. Yeah, that it is a lovely thing to be able to do. Remember to look at the big orange full moon tonight and say a wish. Oh, that's so sweet. Salty, next time you're live on panel, I respectfully request to hear Cassia shout, "Donkey!" That's funny. Donkey! Shocker, Miss doesn't engage. Always first one there. Cartoon Loon responded in usual words. Salad puke is the first one replying to Chuff. Yeah. You know what? They are who they are, and we are who we are, and I'm very, very happy we are who we are. Just leave them to it. I mean, there is no. There is no talking to some people. There is no that you can't reason with some people, and when they have so much ego and so much, I don't know what it is they think they have, but there is no reasoning with people like that. Now, if somebody was to come up and say to me, "Listen, actually, that didn't happen this way, it happened that way," I would say, "Oh God, okay, shit, okay, well, come up on live and tell me exactly what happened." I'm quite happy to be wrong. Not that I'm happy to be wrong, but I'm quite happy for somebody to come up to me and say, "Actually, you know what? It didn't happen like that. It happened like this. I was there. I saw it, whatever." I'm quite happy to put things right. But not once have you people ever put anything right, ever. And it's sort of sickening, really. They just can't stop. It's such a fucking sickness. How shameful. Even after being told to stop, tagging still cannot shut her fat oversharing mouth. Yeah, I know. Lady Witch, we could all stand in the background singing Freak Out. Oh, lordy, lordy. I'm, you know what? I know it's the wrong time of the year, but I can't wait for Halloween. It was the 1st of January, and I was saying to my husband, "Oh God, I can't wait for Halloween." He just he looks at me, thinks I'm completely off my head anyway. So I mean, that won't make any difference. But yeah, I'm going to drop the link one more time, and if anybody wants to come up, do, because I am so sick of the sound of my own voice. I really am. I'm sick of listening to myself. As you say, she's a motor mouth. Yeah. Freak out. Let freak, says she. Freak out. Come on, sing along. Spooky season is a thank you, Lady Witch. You understand. Spooky season is a lifestyle. It is. And I refuse to take my few bits and pieces that I have down. I refuse to take them down because I love them. You know, my husband's like, I'm not driving your car with that stupid thing on the window. I have like a decal on the glass part of my driver's door. Obviously, it's not impeding my view, but it just says it has a witch on it, and it says, "Yeah, I know how to drive a stick." And there's a witch on a broom, and he's like, "I'm not fucking driving that car with that stupid thing on it." And I was like, "If you touch it, you die. Leave it alone." But yeah, I have little funny things like that, and I know I'm quite childish, but you know what? I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. YouTube lady, motor mouth in the morning. Motor mouth in the morning, motor mouth in the evening, motor mouth in the afternoon. Every day in my house is well, you'd want to be in my house because if I go in to sit in, I have a separate sitting room to the sitting room. Okay, I have, the normal big sitting room, but I'm ADHD, so there are times that it might be just too much. I might be overstimulated, or there might be too many people, or just too much going on, and I hide in my other sitting room in the back, and it's just my little place where I just sit and be quiet, and I really 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 love the quiet. I can't stand noise. It drives me insane. I just ugh. Um, and yeah, okay. So I had the dogs in there with me one evening, and I was sitting on the sofa, and yeah, I have to see if I have it on my phone. They were growling like shit at something that was in that room, and it's funny, from the time we walked into this house, and in that room, I was like, there's something here. There's definitely something here. You just get that vibe. I can't explain it, but I knew there was definitely something here. And when the dogs start picking it up, and it was like following it around the room, but I didn't see any orbs. So could have been mice in the walls for all I know. I don't know. But I don't know. There was a very, very, very strange vibe in that little sitting room. But I like it. I like it. I've saged it a few times. So it's fine. Doesn't bother me. So I'm good. Why is your toothless, cowardly boyfriend been hiding again? This for the last 9 days. Well, I have a feeling I know why he's hiding. I have a feeling I know. I have a feeling certain things have caught up with him. Why is your toothless coward? Yeah, I just joined. Heard you shuffling. Are you doing readings today? How you doing, Stormy? It's like watching car crash in slow motion on repeat. I know. It really is. It really, really is. And you know what? It's tiresome now. Because it's the same shit over and over and over. It's just tiresome. And I think we'd all like to move on. If we were allowed to move on, we absolutely would be delighted to just gone. I'm not interested. Now I am. Now I'm interested because it's something interesting has happened. I hope he gets his appeal. Because when you go to court, I suppose, with no representation, your evidence, your everything isn't getting put across properly, and maybe not in the proper manner, maybe not the proper forms filled in. I don't know. I can't say I wasn't there, but I hope his brief does him justice when he goes to court. As Cohen Davis, I can't say that I have any faith in them. I think they're crooked. I think they're liars. I think, yeah, I think they leave a lot to be desired when it comes to solicitors and how they go about working with their clients. Yeah, I'm not a fan of theirs, and that is my opinion. I'm not stating that as fact. That is my opinion. Gum gums. They were the yum yums. Now they're just the gum gums. Their teeth are gone. Is he going to sing? Do you think I'm sexy? Oh dear God, no! I don't. I please don't tell me Martin has ever sung a song, because I don't think he has. I think he's just. How would he sing? Like, really? How would he? Would he not be afraid his teeth would fly out of his mouth or something, like, or his chin? Does he strap his chin on? I don't know how you do that. And that's headlining. Yeah, okay. I'm not saying anything else about headlining. Oh Lord. Well, listen, I'm going to drop the link one more time, and I am going to take myself out of here. If you know, you know. Because it is an absolutely beautiful day. So if anybody wants to come up for a few minutes, absolutely go for it. Do it. Other than that, I am going to sign off and say that I will see all you wonderful, gorgeous, fantastic people on Monday. Monday at 1:30, I will be back. Every, please wear your sunscreen if the weather's going to be really hot where you are. Reapply it every hour. Uh, please don't get sunburnt and sunstroked and all those horrible things, because that is not pleasant. It's a comedy act. You can't afford a puppet, so you just. It's mandatory requirement to be. Do we when we have a chin and teeth be allowed to sing that? Fucking. I think I don't want to talk about it. Would be more appropriate. Oh, you can't even strum a guitar chord alone. Oh, please don't. You'll have me coughing up me fucking lungs here. I'm not able for the laughing anymore. You people are hilarious. You crack me up. You really do. Well, listen, folks, I'm going to love you and leave you. It's such a hot, yeah, absolutely, Lisa. Factor 50 all the way. It's too hot out there. You're going to fry. Please don't fry. Or put an umbrella up, something, anything. Just protect yourself from the sun. Okay, lovely, wonderful, fantastic people. Have an amazing day. Please don't get sunburnt, and look after yourselves over the weekend. And we'll see you on Monday. Love you loads. Take care. Bye.